everyone, this is Ashley with Marshflower Studio. In this video, I am going to be making some of the Christmas light ornaments. So these will be very similar to the larger Christmas bulb lights, kind of that retro look. And I am using 2 worsted weight yarns for this. I have my nice cream color that has this gold metallic thread woven in with it, because I do my Christmas tree in a very kind of old-fashioned simple color scheme. So we have white lights, we have red ornament balls, and then I'll use something like this as a little bit more kind of texture to the tree, so it's not just a tree with red balls. And then I've got my hunter green for the very top of my bulb. This just reminds me a lot of that, cord that connects the light bulbs on those strands. So I've got that handy. To begin with, we're going to have a 4mm hook, or I am anyway, at least. We're going to make a magic circle. We'll put 4 single crochets in our magic circle. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll pull that loop tight. We can tighten it up more later if we need to. All right, we're going to do an increase and a single crochet. So there's my first increase, and then a single, and then we're going to do another increase, and a single. All right, so we'll make sure we push that circle to where it'll be on the outside. And then our next row is going to be another increase and single crochet row. We'll end up doing it 3 times, so we'll end up with 9 stitches in total once we're done with this row. So there's 1 and 2, and then 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, 7, and 8, and then there's 9. Okay. In our next row, we're going to have an increase and 2 single crochets, and we're going to be going out to 12 stitches for this next row. So we'll have 1 and 2, and then 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11, 12. All right, so our next row is just going to be 12 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right. In our next row, we're going to do another increase and 2 single crochets, and this will take our count out to 16. So 1 and 2, and then 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14, and then 15, 16. All right, so we're going to do 2 rows of 16 or 32 single crochets total. However you want to count this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. All right, so I am going to tuck my starter tail down into the bottom of this little light bulb here, so get it out of the way. And then we're going to do 2 single crochets and a decrease. Okay, that takes us back down to 12 stitches for the row. So 1, 2, and then decrease on 3, do 4, 5, decrease on 6, 7, 8, we'll decrease on 9, 10, 11, and decrease on 12. All right, so our next row is going to be a single crochet and a decrease, and this is going to take our count down to 8. So there's 1, we'll decrease on 2, 3, decrease on 4, 5, decrease on 6, 7, and decrease on 8. All right, so for the top row here, we're just going to slip stitch 8 all the way around. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, and at this point we can cut our yarn for our bulb here. I pull that out. I'm going to use my stuffing stick. We'll get some stuffing down inside this light bulb. And keep in mind you want to stuff it enough so that it will keep its shape, especially if it gets kind of thrown in a box with other things to hang out for most of the year. But we don't want it stuffed so much that you end up seeing stuffing through some of your stitches. So for our, I'll just pull that out. For the top, we make it as a separate piece, and we're going to start with 4 single crochets in a magic circle. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then for this top part, we're going to join some of our rounds, just because goes a little smoother for what we're doing. So I am going to slip stitch underneath this very first single crochet here. Oh, there we go. And then I'm going to do a chain 1, and we're going to do 4 increases. So in the same spot where we just did our slip stitch, we're going to do an increase. So there's 1 and 2. There's 3 and 4. 5 and 6. And then 7 and 8. Okay. And we are going to join again. And one thing I will caution anyone who's new at this right here, so we have our last stitch here. This next part here is where you did your join. And then this is the chain 1. So we're going to slip stitch into our stitch that's up here to close this joined round. I used to really struggle with joined rounds because I would think that this next space, I know with a darker yarn it's a little bit hard to see. I would think that, let me see if I can get my light a little bit better here. Yeah, that's better. So I would think that this right here would be another stitch, and then we have our chain 1 here, but our actual stitch is up here. So we got to go under those 2 and not anything down here in between. Okay. I used to end up with so many extra stitches that I got so frustrated trying to figure out where I had gone wrong. But you live and you learn. All right, so we're going to do another chain 1 for this next row, and this row is going to go back loop only, and we're just doing 8 single crochets. So back loop only, single crochets. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right. And we're not going to join these rounds. We just wanted a nice clean top and that top edge. And now we can do another 8 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then I'm going to do just a little slip stitch like always to kind of finish this off. And then we'll cut a little bit of a tail because we're going to sew it to the top of our light. All right. So we can take the tail of our light bulb and actually stick it down inside, or you can trim it off and weave in your ends, whichever is preferable for you. So I'm going to thread my green here, and I'm going to leave this other tail, the starter tail for the top part, hanging out because I will use that to tie off when I'm done. So I'm going to do the front loops only of both the top and the bottom piece. Okay. Oh, sorry, I had that a little bit out of view. So I've got the front loop for my next bottom stitch, and I'm going to go under the front loop of that next, or the top stitch and the bottom. The cap and the bulb. And then we're just going to go back and forth. And I'll leave mine a little loose to begin with. Just because if you start pulling it tight from the very beginning, it can make your stuff a little lopsided. All right, almost all the way back around. This one, I think I'll put that one. All right, so I'm going to take my, we'll say, sewing tail over here. I'm going to go up through that cap and come out kind of where this starting tail is from over here. So it closes that up nicely. We'll tie our little knot here. And then we will stick these tails down through our bulb. All right, so there is your little Christmas bulb shape. And like I said, you can do any colors you want to do. If you want to do, you know, a ton of just plain red, or if you want to do pink or blue or, you know, pastel colors, completely up to you. If you want to add them to a bunch that are kind of more like a garland, just make sure you have all of the bulbs that you want to use ready, and then just pop, or you would work a chain to connect them. But then you would just do a couple single crochets or slip stitches, whichever you prefer, into the top of these bulbs to kind of help string them together so that it looks, you know, more realistic, because most of those cords that connect the light bulbs on the trees have at least 2 wires that are kind of twisted together, sometimes 3. So we don't want just a single strand of yarn kind of stuck down through this part. You want to make sure you connect them through the top part. And if you do chains in between, then you don't have to worry about your lights sliding too close together or too far apart in any particular spot. So that's nice. Or you can just hook them onto your tree like this. Up to you. But I hope you like this little light bulb pattern. Hit that thumbs up button if you do. I really appreciate those. If you have not subscribed already, make sure you do that so you can see all of the other videos and get notifications as they get posted. Check out previous videos for all kinds of other cute things. I try to make sure that I stay a little bit ahead of the holiday season when I post them. But, you know, it is what it is. Sometimes I post things for Easter in July. So keep an eye out for all the different things you're interested in making. If you want to see something specific, but you don't see a video already made, just pop it in the comments and I'll work on making a video for pretty much anything. So just let me know what you want to see and I'll work on it. And thanks guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.